I've been working on this for 3 years. What do you think of it?
Well, it's a very original idea, Mr. Penobscot. But I wonder if there is any great demand for artificial birds' nests.
Oh, why, of course there is. Well, every bird in the country could use one. Think of the time it would save them.
But most birds don't carry the money around to buy things, do they?
Oh, but bird lovers do. Why, they'd buy these nests like mad and place them in every tree. Of course, this is only the bobolink fodder. I'm also working on the robin, the oriole, the tufted titmouse, and the hermit thrush, which closes from the inside.
I see. And you want to apply for a patent on this?
Oh, right away. Before someone else has the same idea.
Well, I think you're pretty safe on that.
Oh.
But I'll pass it on to our examiners. Come back in about a week.
Thank you, Sarah. You will take very good care of that nest, won't you? That's my only working model.
It'll be perfectly safe, Mr. Penobscot.
Well, good day, sir. Or as we bird lovers say...
Yes, young man, what can I do for you?
Oh, could you tell me how I go about getting a patent on something I've invented?
That's what I'm here for. This little booklet explains the entire procedure and saves me a lot of talk. Take it home with you, read it carefully, then come back when you've filled all the requirements and make out a formal application.
Can I do all that today?
I doubt it. This being Saturday, we close the office in exactly 7 1/2 minutes. However, we expect to open up again on Monday.
But I live in Ohio, sir, and I was planning to start back home tomorrow.
Well, now, if you're in such a hurry, why don't you hire a good patent attorney to handle the matter for you?
But I don't know anybody here in Washington, and, well, tell you the truth, sir, I don't have enough money to hire a lawyer.
Well, then I guess you just have to stay in town over the weekend. What's your name, son?
Parker. Christopher Parker.
Mine's Abbott, Henry J.
How do you do?
What hotel are you staying at, Mr. Parker?
Well, nowhere yet. I just drove in an hour ago and came right here. Why, sir?
Oh, I happen to know of a real nice boarding house over in Georgetown where there's a vacant room.
Well, that's mighty kind of you, Mr. Abbott. What's the address and how do I get there?
I'll go with you. It's my house. You smell something burning?
Why, yes. It's your cigar.
Bird's nest. Get it out. Get it out.
Maybe we better have some water.
Him and his darn tufted titmouse. I don't do this for just anybody, Mr. Parker, only inventors. Most people take advantage of them because inventors are dreamers. Poets with a monkey wrench, I call them. The human chisel in the hand of God. Turn right here.
My, it's pretty around here, sir.
Nicest part of the city, Georgetown, and the oldest. Robert Fulton lived just down the street. George Washington, Tom Jefferson, Henry Clay stayed at the tavern just around the corner.
Really?
Inventors, every one of them. Get your bags.
Oh, yes. Excuse me. That's so much.
Aristotle, this is Mr. Parker.
Yes,
Oh,
sir. How are you?
Take his bag up to the back room next to Mr. Hershey.
Yes, I just got the bed made up. By the way, what about that bed?
Oh, Mr. Parker might like that.
Oh, I guess it will. Yes, sir.
We dine at 6:30. If you want to take a bath first, I'll be out of the tub in a few minutes.
Well, yes, I could use one.
After you, son.
Thank you.
What's for supper, Aristotle?
Well, it was a mighty hot day for cooking today, Mr. Henley. So we only got some turnip greens, and Smithfield ham, chitlins, hot cornbread, and a side dish of black-eyed peas and rice.
Well, it sounds like a nice summer dinner.
The price is $3 without meals and $5 with it.
Well, I'll take the with.
That's very sensible. Aristotle, make me a bourbon and spring water and bring it in the bathroom.
Yes, sir. Here's your room in here, Mr.
Thanks.
And the bathroom is directly across the hall, sir. And you find the towels in this closet here.
Well, that's fine. Here you are, Aristotle.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Much obliged. Oh, you better sort of keep your eye on that bed during the night, Mr. Parker.
Keep an eye on it?
Yes, sir.
What's wrong with it?
Oh, there's nothing wrong exactly, but it's these here foot posts. You see, the last gentleman was in here was inventing a rowing machine that you could practice on in bed. And sometime during the night, it would fold up on him without notice, like this.
Well, I never saw anything like that before.
And you ain't never seen a house like this before either. Everything in it works scientific, except me.
Well, thanks for the warning, Aristotle.
You're welcome.
A new water. It does that every time. Somebody should have told you how this bathtub works.
And I was just thinking that.
You'll get used to this house if you stay here long enough. The people who live here can invent rockets to the moon, but they don't know how to fix the Cummings. That one works the tub. That's the shower. That's the hot and the cold. And that little one squirts soap. Only it doesn't.
Oh, I see. Well, thanks. Excuse me. I'm in no hurry. If you want to use it.
Oh, no, that's all right. You've already started. I'll take mine later. The main valve's down here behind the tub. Oh, by the way, I'm Alva, Abbott.
Well, how do you do? I'm Christopher Parker.
Did Pop pick you up in the patent office, Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Someday the government's going to fire him for soliciting private business on their time. If they ever catch him at it.
Well, they'd never catch him through me.
Now, I don't know what it is you've invented, Mr. Parker, and I'm not going to ask, but if it's really a good thing, don't grab the first offer you get from a big corporation. And if it's not good enough to patent, don't get discouraged. Keep trying. It took Mr. Hershey 7 years to invent his alarm bell for icebox dripping pans.
And just as I got it perfected, along came the electric and gas refrigerators.
Gee, that's tough luck.
It was, but he didn't give up. That's my point. Show him what you're working on now, Joe.
Oh, yes. It's it's just a match. Now watch. It lights 1,865 times.
Oh, that's wonderful. Could I try that, please?
Certainly.
Oh, thank you.
I got the idea one night when I was lost in Rock Creek Park.
Rock Creek Park. Gee, this is a great idea. One of these could last a fellow for months.
If he could ever buy one.
But people need things like this to save money. My invention's the same kind of thing.
Oh, not a better match, I hope. I couldn't stand it.
No, it's not a match. But it ignites, and it's just as simple.
Oh, what is it?
Well, it's a formula to change...
Formula?
To change what?
Hello, Pop. What time is it? My watch stopped.
8:15. My, you look nice, honey. Where you off to?
Roger's taking me to dinner at Chevy Chase. Hello, Mr. Parker. Have you gotten used to this house yet?
Oh, yes, indeed. It's wonderful. Excuse me. Won't you sit down?
Oh, no, thank you. I'll wait out on the porch. Now, don't you stay out late, Pop. You know I worry about you.
Me? That's what I was going to say to you.
Good night.
Good night, Henry.
Good night.
Good night.
She beats you to it every time, Henry.
Mr. Parker, you were starting to tell us.
What?
You were about to tell us
I was? About what?
your invention.
Oh, that, yeah. Well, it's nothing. It's just... Say, I just remembered. I left my keys in the car. I better go down and get them before the car, I better get them.
Suppose he just didn't want to confide in us?
Couldn't you see, Henry? The ants were after him.
Ants? I don't see any ants.
No, Henry. They don't bother us.
Aristotle? Aristotle?
You big, beautiful boy. Did you miss me? Think maybe you better get down now. Go on. Scat.
Oh, excuse me. I was just looking for my hat.
I haven't seen one. What color is it?
Well, it was sort of a green... Why, I probably left them upstairs in my room.
It's a lovely night, isn't it?
Yes, beautiful. Just beautiful.
Where are you from, Mr. Parker?
Drakesville, Ohio.
Are you in business there?
Yes, I'm a chemist for the Fuzzy Friend Soap Company.
I don't think I've ever heard of that soap.
No, I guess not. It's for dogs and cats.
Oh. Is this your first trip to Washington?
Yes, well, in a way. I came through here during the war on a train, but there was a big sergeant between me and the window.
You really should see the sights while you're here. The Capitol, Mount Vernon, Washington's monument. There are so many famous places to see.
Yes, I'd love to see everything, if I just knew how to find them.
Well, I could draw a map for you.
It'd be a lot more fun if you'd go with me. That is, if you have anything else to do.
Well, all right. That's very nice of you. Let's see, tomorrow's Sunday. We could start right after breakfast. Do you have a car?
Well, it's not much to look at, but it gets around.
Hello, Roger.
Oh. I'm terribly sorry to be late, Alva.
Oh, that's all right. Roger, this is Mr. Parker, Mr. Abernathy.
How do you do, Mr. Parker? I forgot to ask what you were wearing tonight, but these should go rather well, don't you think?
Roger, you didn't have to. Oh, my, they're beautiful, aren't they, Mr. Parker?
Oh, yes, very nice.
Shall we go? You can put them on in the car.
Yes, I'm ready. Good night, Mr. Parker.
Good night. Have a nice time.
Alva, you look positively beautiful tonight. But then, of course, you always do.
Why, thank you, sir.
I don't know why Mr. Blair always calls for me when he has an important job to do, but he always does.
Here, Marconi. Kitty, 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 kitty. Here, Marconi. Here, Marconi. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Oh, Mr. Parker, you see a cat around here anywhere?
Oh, yes, he was here a minute ago.
Oh. Kitty, 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 kitty.
Oh, Aristotle.
Yes, sir.
Who is Mr. Abernathy?
Him? Oh, he's just Miss Alva's boss down at the Capital Oil Company. They've been going steady now for a couple of years. Not just in the office. I mean overtime.
Oh. They're engaged, huh?
Well, he is, but she ain't quite. And confidential, sir. I hope she don't.
Why, what's wrong with him?
Oh, he's all right if he like them junior vice presidents. But for a fine girl like Miss Alva, he just ain't got enough zazzle.
Well, I suppose a girl had zazzle? What's that?
Oh, that's a color folks word, Mr. Parker. You can't explain it. Well, a man's either got it or he ain't got it. And for women, it's like catnip is for cats.
Zazzle? I wonder if I've got it.
Well, off answer, I kind of doubt it.
No, I didn't think so, Aristotle. I never did have it. Girls just don't seem to take me seriously.
Well, sometimes, sir, that's kind of useful, too.
Yeah, I guess so. Gee, I wish I didn't have to start back for Ohio tomorrow.
Do you have to?
Yes, I'm afraid so. I only took off enough time for my job to come down here and apply for a patent. Your father's going to help me with that in the morning, then I guess I'll head for home.
What is your invention, Chris?
I told you. You know, the formula to change water into...
Oh, now, look, wait a minute. I fell for that one before, remember?
Still don't believe me, do you?
Certainly not. Do you think I'm half-witted? You may not know this, but I work for a big oil company, and we have a fine research laboratory headed by Dr. Axel Torgelson, who's a famous scientist. If anybody on Earth could change water into gasoline, he could.
Yes, I know. They've all been trying for years. It was just pure dumb luck I stumbled onto it.
And when did this great stroke of genius hit you, Mr. Parker?
Oh, a few months ago at home, in the woodshed. I mixed up 7 common elements in a certain proportion just to see what would happen. Nothing did, so I dumped the mixture into a bucket of water there. A few minutes later, accidentally, I threw a cigarette into the bucket. The explosion almost blew me through the roof.
And you decided there might be something to it.
Yes, I did. So I mixed up the same formula again and dumped it into a tub of water. Looked like gasoline, smelled like gasoline, too, so I tried it in my car, and it worked perfectly. I finally got the formula into a powder. You see, if you put one of these pills into 14 gallons of water, you get 11 gallons of high-octane fuel. The action is exothermic.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Those are the famous cherry trees. They're so beautiful when they're in blossom. You really should have come here in April.
I should have come here a long time ago.
Oh, will you two please stop arguing and stand where I told you? Come on, kid. Hold up that hatchet like you were going to chop the tree down. You heard the man. Hold still, will you? The guy's trying to take a picture.
Ah, shut up. I've been in this advertising racket longer than you have, and you keep picking on me and I'll chop you down. Well, hurry up and snap it.
Here in the tidal basin, it's lots of fun on a hot summer night just to rent a paddle boat and sit and cool off.
Really? It's a little warm here right now, don't you think?
Oh.
Oh.
We walked so much, I guess I broke my heel. We'd better find a shoemaker.
No, I can fix that. Sit right over here on the grass. It'll only take a minute.
You can do anything, can't you?
Well, I like to be prepared. I was a Boy Scout. You see this glue? I invented it myself.
I suppose you made that out of the same formula as those fabulous pills.
Oh, no. No, the action of this is entirely different. You see, this constricts the molecules, whereas the pills expand in water like atomic energy.
Oh, now stop it, Chris Parker. I don't believe that crazy story any more than I'd expect to see George Washington come by here at this very minute and run up that monument.
Look out! Look out! Put that thing away, will you?
I'll put it away on your head, you big lug. I told you I'd let you have it. I told you I'd let you have it.
Who was that?
Well, I'm not quite sure, but I think one of them was George Washington. I guess we walked too much, Alvin. I'm very sorry you broke your heel.
Oh, it was fun anyway. Especially the big gag.
Gag?
Yes, this fantastic bus of yours that supposedly runs on water.
But it really does, you know.
Oh, stop it. Will you relax? We're home. Excuse me.
Hello, Mr. Abernathy.
Hello.
Hello, Roger.
I dropped around to take you for a little ride.
Oh, I've had one, thanks.
Oh? Where have you been?
Out with a water bug.
With a water? A what?
Look, you see this car?
Yeah?
He absolutely insists that it doesn't use gasoline. No, sir. Drove all the way here from Ohio on just plain water.
Water? Oh, no. Oh, Alva, what a household you live in. You know, your father ought to have the walls padded for those nuts.
Hello. Hope you don't mind my using the bed, son. Kind of thought I'd like a little workout before supper.
Oh, sure. Go right ahead. Help yourself.
Thank you. Stroke. Wonderful exercise. Fellow who invented this should have gotten a patent on it, made himself a fortune. Finest thing ever put on a bed. Care to roll along with me? It's even more fun double.
Oh, no, thanks. I tried it last night. Made me a little seasick.
Stroke. By the way, you never did finish telling me about your invention.
No, I told Alva about it. She thinks I'm completely cuckoo. Maybe you will, too.
Not me, son. After 35 years in the patent office, nothing can surprise me. I've heard everything, so let's hear yours.
Well, I've discovered a way to make gasoline out of water.
Oh. What?
Mr. Abbott. Mr. Abbott. 15 minutes. And the engine would run all day if you keep pouring this mixture of mine in the tank.
Glory be. I sees it, but I don't believe it.
It's astounding. What do you say, Henry?
I don't know what to say. Boy, do you realize what you've got here is really on the level?
Well, you supervised every stage of the test, sir. How could I fool you?
Listen, son. Stay right here till I come back. Don't leave the house or talk to anybody. Not a soul.
But I was going to the patent office with you to file the application.
File your...
Free gas. Hot cigarette. This here means I can afford a hot rod.
Do it again.
You better hurry, Papa. It's 8:45.
I know. Where's my hat?
It's on your head. What's the matter with you? You're so excited.
Excited? Who wouldn't be? Listen, you hear that motor? It's running on water, not a drop of gasoline, just plain Georgetown City water, mixed with something Mr. Parker invented. A pill, no bigger than a little liver pill.
What?
It's the plain gospel truth. Go take a look for yourself. It's nothing fakey about it, Alper. Sensational.
Good morning, Alva.
I just talked to Chicago, Mr. Blair, and they say that all our tank cars are in service, every single one.
We got boats, haven't we?
Yes, sir.
Chicago's on a lake, isn't it? Then send them one of our tankers from Detroit. Can't anybody think for himself around here? Well, come on, hurry up. What's next? I gotta be in Tulsa by 3 o'clock. Torgelson, how you coming on those tryptane tests?
Oh, it's coming along good, A.B. We got already the hydrocarbons and xylenus up to 40 cc's from the isomer intake of the Howdry with the polymer, which we...
Yeah, okay, that sounds good. Hey, Abernathy, why wasn't my wife's picture in that Dallas horse show program?
Why, I did everything I could, sir. But the editor said they only had space left for a jumper.
What? Since when's a jumping horse's picture better than my wife's?
Of course it's not, A.B. You know...
Oh, Mr. Blair, please forgive me for breaking in like this, but there's something I have to tell you. There's a man at my house who makes gasoline out of water.
Alva, what on earth are you talking about?
But I tell you, he really does it. He has a little pill, and he drops it into water, and it turns into gas. Real gas. Ethyl, I think. No, maybe it's just regular.
Who is this girl?
Miss Abbott, my secretary.
It was running an outboard motor. Put, 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 and it never stopped right in our backyard.
Miss Abbott, control yourself.
But I saw it work, and my father saw it. And he's in the patent office. He says there's nothing fake about it.
I don't understand it, sir. She's never acted this way before.
He showed me the pills yesterday, and I wouldn't believe it. But I tell you, it's as true as I'm standing here, Mr. Blair. Mr. Blair?
Miss Abbott, Abernathy, take her down to the first aid room. Have the nurse give her a sedative right away.
Yes, sir.
Then call the doctor. The girl's gone out of her head completely.
Yes, sir, completely. Alva, what on earth's the matter with you? You know you shouldn't break into a board meeting like this. It's not...
Well, must have been overworked. That's a pity. That's a nice-looking girl, too. Miss Furby, what's the temperature today?
91, sir.
Oh, That's it. Heat's got him. Heat.
I had a secretary like that once, went all to pieces. Hit me with a bottle of ink.
Turning water into gasoline. That's the craziest thing I ever heard of.
Hey, that's not possible, is it?
No. Of course not.
Why, that old rumor pops up every couple of years, A.B. Like the carburetor that'll get 70 miles to a gallon. Great idea, only nobody ever saw one.
Listen, Colonel, I've been trotting all over this concrete pretzel from somebody called JAG to R&DB to something named GSLOG. Finally, they sent me here. Now, if you don't mind, just what are you in charge of?
Well, frankly, I'm not quite sure myself, but it's called PQSO. Why? What is it you want?
My name is Henry Abbott. I work at the patent office, and today I saw a man change water into gasoline. Actually. Now, what I want to know is, does that interest the Army?
What grade of gasoline was it?
What grade? Well, what difference does that make? It ran an outboard motor for 15 minutes.
Outboard motor, eh? You're in the wrong building. That's a naval matter.
Colonel, try and get this clear now. I saw plain water plus a little pill make gasoline. Think what that would mean to the Army and the Air Force. It would eliminate over half your transport problems.
Would eliminate over half the officers, too. Sounds very impractical to me. However, give me your name and address, and I'll pass the matter on to GSID.
And who is GSID?
Well, I'm not quite clear just who they are, but they send a lot of papers to me, so I just send other papers back to them.
Maybe we better forget the whole thing, Colonel. I'll give this to the Navy.
Isn't it peculiar how many civilians are absolutely nuts?
Don't you get the idea, Commander? Think of the whole U.S. Navy, 3,000 miles at sea, making its fuel with water.
What's the whole Navy doing way out there?
I don't know, but imagine it. They could stay at sea for months at a time, couldn't they?
Oh, no, that would be awfully boring.
I mean, if there was a war, you wouldn't need any tankers.
Oh, but I like tankers. They're very comfortable ships. Why, my first command was a tanker. The old Polyphemus. I can still smell her. She was a beamy old tub, Abbott, but I loved every barnacle on her moss-covered bottom. I recall one evening off Pango Pango. Suddenly a big wind blew up.
Blow it down for a minute, Commander. How much gasoline does the Navy use in a year?
Well, that depends. Some years there's more social activity than others. Now, you take my car.
I mean, in the boats.
In the Navy, Abbott, we say ships. Many civilians make that mistake. Now, you see, the front is forward. The rear is aft. Upstairs is top deck, and downstairs is below. The bathroom is the head, and the bedroom is the bunk.
Never mind. Thanks. All I came to give you was something bigger than nuclear fission.
Well, why didn't you say so? I just love fishing. Last summer, I caught a big-mouth bass that size.
I don't seem to be getting anywhere today.
Yes, I've had days like that. Couldn't get a thing done. Well, drop in again, Abbott. It gets very dull around here in peacetime.
I see what you mean.
Now, there's a real crackpot for you, trying to sell water to the Navy.
Take a wire to Joe in the Tulsa office. What do you mean by saying we hit a dry hole? There's no such thing as a dry hole in Oklahoma. I told the stockholders that myself. You trying to make a jackass out of me? Best regards to wife and kids, that's all.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Hello. What? Oh, my wife. Well, put her on. Yeah. Hello, Doodles. Huh? Well, of course you can have a coat. Well, what do you care what it costs? Here, we've got it, baby. Baby, let me call you later. Later. Torgelson. Torgelson.
Yes, A.B. speaking.
There's no slight chance you might be wrong about that water into gasoline joke, is there?
Well, of course, A.B. theoretically. Mind you, only theoretically. A few scientists have claimed it is possible. It would require a mild chain reaction of hydrocarbons, and in this atomic age, well, you never know.
Well, by golly, I pay you to know those things. There's a heck of a lot more water around than there is oil. We don't own it.
But, A.B., I don't agree with the other scientists. There is absolutely nothing in water to combust.
Well, there's something here in mine that... Miss Ferby.
Yes?
Go find that Abbott girl. She's okay. Bring her in. Get Abernathy, too. And send for my car.
Yes, sir.
What do you say now, Doctor?
Well, I must admit it looks like gasoline. It smells like it, even acts like it, but...
What more do you want it to do? Take the spots off your pants?
No, but we didn't see Mr. Parker when he mixed the formula.
Yes, that's right, A.B. How do we know he didn't put some real gasoline in this tank?
Oh, I never buy gasoline.
Young man, that's un-American.
It could also be untrue.
Look, why don't you ask your chauffeur to siphon the gasoline out of your car, and then I'll fill your tank with water and change the water into gasoline. You can watch every step. Is that fair enough?
You mean you're willing to do this right in front of us?
In our car?
Oh, sure, I'll be glad to. He can just back the car around this hose here.
All right, Roger, have the chauffeur bring the car here.
Oh, Chris.
What is it?
What's the matter? Boy, you're making a great mistake.
Yes, Mr. Reed, what is it?
Trusting that fellow Blair.
Well, Mr. Blair's a friend of Alva's, and she said if he liked my invention, he'd help me with it.
Help you? He'd help you like a cat helps mice. Alva doesn't know him the way I do.
Chris, I hope you didn't mind my bringing them here. I mean, without telling you first.
Oh, no, not a bit.
I didn't know whether I should have or not, but Mr. Blair insisted, and then the next thing I knew, we were all in the car, and I've been kind of dizzy all morning.
Yes, you do look a little pale. Let me mix up something for you.
Oh, no. No, thank you. That's what's the trouble now.
The tank is empty.
Okay, go ahead.
Just a minute, Mr. Parker. I'll do that. Besides, I'd like to taste this stuff before we put it in to see if it really is plain water. Will you turn it on? It's plain water, all right.
This is the most idiotic thing I ever heard of, A.B. That outboard motor was obviously a fake. This boy's just pulling our legs.
Of course he is. It's pure nonsense. You can't run an automobile in water.
Yes, I know it and you know it, but does he know it?
Don't do this, Chris. I'm warning you. You'll regret it.
Oh, it's okay. That's about it. Aristotle, you can cut it off now.
Yeah. Well, what do we do now?
Well, we just drop one of these pills into the tank.
Not you. I'll do it. If you don't mind.
Oh, no, not a bit.
May I have a look at that bottle, Mr. Parker?
Certainly help yourself in. Now, if you'll just recap the tank, I think it'll start.
Oh, you think it'll start? Well, I don't. Young man, I don't know how you tricked up that outboard motor, but if that water ruins my car, I'm going to sue you. All right, get in there, Herbert. Let's see what happens.
Here's your bottle, young man.
Oh, thank you.
Wait a minute. It's only because there is still some real gas in the carburetor and feed line. Maybe with luck we can reach that gas station on the corner.
Get in the car. We'll see how far we can go.
Chris, I know you couldn't see it, but when you handed that bottle to Dr. Torgelson, he stole some of your pills.
Why, that's absurd. He'd never do a thing like that.
The heck he wouldn't. I saw him do it.
Oh, I don't mind. I've got plenty more.
Well, I haven't got much news for you, son.
But I've got some for you, Henry. Chris just gave a free demonstration to A.B. Blair.
You did what?
Well,
Well, what's so terrible about that? I was only trying to help Chris sell his idea, and since I do work for Capital Law, I like to...
And what's more, they stole some of his pills.
So...
Pop!
We're almost to Richmond.
Stop yammering. I know where we are. Pull up, Herbert.
Yes, sir.
"85 miles. That's all we've traveled, just 85 miles. Am I right?
That's what the sign says, A.B.
On water. And you told me it was impossible.
I can't understand it.
Dr. Torgelson, you're through.
So, I'm through. Oh, you're through, too.
Yes, we're all through. As a matter of fact, the Capital Oil Company is through.
No. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We're not through yet.
That boy's pills.
I borrowed them from him, just to...
Oh.
He told us he hasn't patented his process yet.
And even if he does, it'll take several days to draw up the application.
And our legal staff could do it in a few hours.
But only if they know the exact formula of these pills.
That's my job. With our laboratory stuff, I can analyze anything overnight.
No. Doesn't seem exactly ethical. What am I saying? What's ethics got to do with a crisis like this? Maybe I'll pay the boy something. Doc, get back to the laboratory. Keep them working all night. Lock them in. All right, Herbert, back to Washington and step on the gas.
Yes, sir.
I mean the water, blast it. Torgy, you old goat, you.
To think that my own daughter could have done such a thing.
Oh, now, just a minute. I'm getting pretty sick and tired of being blamed for this.
Well, I didn't blame you, Alva.
No, not in words. You just sit there and stare at me, but I can hear exactly what you're thinking. If you people could only realize it, I've done Chris a great favor. Suppose he had patented his formula, he'd still have to manufacture and distribute the gasoline, and that needs a strong guiding hand like Mr. Blair's.
Sure, the way he guided it into that bottle.
Oh,
I'm sorry about this, Chris. Believe me, mighty sorry.
Oh, I understand, Mr. Abbott. When I realized they'd swiped my sample to duplicate it, I got mad and wanted to go after them. But, well, if you say it's really hopeless.
That's the way it is, son. Not a thing you can do. Not a thing.
Well, I want to get an early start in the morning, so goodbye, Mr. Abbott. Thanks for everything.
Goodbye,
Bye, Mr. Hershey.
Goodbye.
Good luck with that match of yours.
Oh, thank you, Chris. I'll send you one.
Well, thank you, sir.
Oh, it's really all my fault, Joe. I should have taken them with me right down to the patent office this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh. I didn't even go there myself.
Alva, I guess I won't be seeing you again, but it's been awfully nice knowing you. I hope you'll be very happy.
You're going home tomorrow?
Yes. If you ever find yourself in Drakesville, by any chance, I'd like to see you again. You can always find me at the Fuzzy Friend Soap Works. So, goodbye, Alva.
Chris,
Yes.
I'm sorry if I was rude to you just now, but I've been terribly upset by this, too.
Oh, I know it wasn't your fault.
I really did think I was doing the best thing for you and for the company. I know what a blow it must be, Chris. I wouldn't blame you if you hated me for it.
Hated you? Why, Alva, I couldn't hate you no matter what you did. Because, you know why?
Why?
Because because I'm in love with you. That's why.
You are?
Yes, I am. Ever since the minute you came into the bathroom. Oh, I knew it right away, wet as I was.
Chris, I don't know what to say.
Well, I don't expect you to say anything. You're in love with another man. But I just had to tell you how I felt. Bye, Alva.
Chris. I don't know how it happened, but it just came over me. I love you, too. Really, it's true. I don't love Roger. He's nice and he's been wonderful to me, but I never felt like this about him. Don't you believe me, Chris? Can't you say something to me? Or didn't you mean what you said to me downstairs? How could you do a thing like that? Was it because you wanted to hurt me for what I'd done to you? Yes, that's the only reason you said it. You wanted revenge. Well, you've had it. I hope you're glad.
Mr. Chris, I think maybe you're getting someplace with Miss Alva. I'm telling you. That's it. That's the look. Yes, sir. Now you really got Zazzle. Yes, indeed.
Torgelson fails to duplicate that formula, we can all stay home the rest of our lives.
Say, I've got an idea, A.B. Maybe we could buy off this fellow Parker. He doesn't look too bright.
Neither do you. You said you knew about those gas bills day before yesterday. Why didn't you tell me then?
Well,
Yes, Doc, what have you found?
We have got it.
You sure? Positive?
Absolutely.
We got it! We saved!
Was that the boss? Yep, in front. I knew they'd turn on him someday.
Torgy! Torgy, you little bifocal brain, you. You saved the company. Well, let me see it. Come on, where is it?
Over here, A.B. We worked all night, 36 of us, and we finally got it.
The pill? Is it an exact copy?
No. Much better than exact. We have improved it. Which proves again that the future of mankind depends on scientific genius.
Yeah, sure. Never mind the speech, Doggy. This is the greatest day in the history of oil. And you are the finest research staff in the whole wide world. And what's more, your overtime will be added to your next paychecks. Well, come on, Torgy, let me see it. I can't wait.
Yeah. You think we should let them see it? I didn't tell them what they were working on.
Oh, sure, let him stay. The whole world will know about it in a few days anyway. And we've got the papers all filled out, ready to rush right over at the patent office. Everything but the blank space to describe the formula.
And that I will give you in a moment. But first, I'll demonstrate how it works. This tank contains exactly 14 gallons of water. Now I will drop this pellet, which we have created, into the water, which will then shrink by exothermic action into 11 gallons of gasoline. Watch it.
What's the matter?
It didn't shrink. Oh, there's something wrong. I'll try another one.
Wait a minute. Here, let me see that pill. Get me a glass of water. I'll see what we got here. Alka-Seltzer. Young woman, you're late. Miss Abbott, where is he?
Where's who, sir?
That young man, what's his name? Parker.
Oh, Chris. Well, I don't know where he is by now, sir. He left early this morning in his car.
He left? Well, where is he going?
Back to Ohio, I guess. Why, did you want to see him about his invention?
I certainly do. He's gone in his car back to Ohio.
Alva, when did he start?
Before breakfast. I didn't get to see him, but Aristotle said Pop did.
Her father works in the patent office.
Patent office? Of all places. Well, what else do you know?
I hate to say this, Mr. Blair, but Pop and Chris think that Dr. Torgelson took some of those little pills yesterday to copy them for us. And then I told them why it was much better anyway if Chris's formula was in the hands of a going concern like Capital, and
Miss Abbott, please don't refer to us as a
going to, sir. You mean an up-and-coming concern?
Oh, yes, of course. But Pop says that one-man companies like us stifle the individual.
Oh, nonsense. Nobody's stifled around here. Are they?
Certainly not.
Why, I was going to pay the boy for his formula, pay him a fortune. I will right now if I can find him.
I think maybe you could find him in Drakesville, Ohio, in a few days.
We got to find him before he gets there. How would he go to Ohio?
There are several highways, A.B. He could go up through Maryland on the Hagerstown Pike.
Yeah. Oh, out through Virginia.
Or up through Pennsylvania and then on west.
In short, we don't know what he's traveling on.
No, sir, except water.
Stop using that word.
Heading west, Mac?
Yes, jump in.
Ain't I seen you before someplace?
I don't think so. Unless it was in the Army.
Nah, couldn't have been the Army. I was busy during the war. Was it Alcatraz, 35?
No, I've never been there.
Red and white, 31?
Sorry, it must have been another fellow.
I got it. Sing Sing. 34.
No, I'm Ohio State. 37.
That's one pen I ain't been in. What was the rap?
4 years.
What was it, pal? Some dame squeal on you?
Well, she didn't mean to do it.
Ah, don't kid yourself, Mac. Any dame will sell out a guy if the price is right.
If only he wasn't driving a car. If he'd taken a train or a plane, we could check on him.
Plane? Say. Why couldn't we use a plane? Abernathy, where's that helicopter we bought last year for research?
Over at the airport, sir. I've been using it on Sundays for public relations.
Get it out. Call the pilot. Go on, hurry. I'll meet you at the airport in 20 minutes.
Yes, sir.
That's a great idea, A.B. With a helicopter, you can check all those roads.
Yeah, and take a good look at every car. Miss Abbott, tell me. You like this company and your job here?
Yes?
You also like this Parker boy?
Yes, I do.
Well, finding him and persuading him to trust us means life or death for Capital Oil. You realize that, don't you?
Yes, sir.
So, will you help me with him?
Well, if you really think I can...
I'm sure you can. Now go along with Abernathy. Hurry.
And not
Helicopter? Yes, I'll be right with you.
Yes, sir.
Whitey. Yes, A.B. Draw up a contract for this Chris Parker. Give him $10,000 for his formula. No. Make that 5, then I can be generous and come up to 10.
Oh, yes, it's our standard form. I'll bring it to the airport, A.B.
Well?
Mr. Blair, there's a Mr. Abbott here to see you.
Here, not now. Some other time. Abbott? Which one of you gentlemen is...
I am.
Have you brought some news for me?
I think you'll find it news, all right. Mr. Blair, this is an old friend of mine, the general manager of Trans-American Oil.
Trans-American? Have you told him about...
Not everything, not yet.
But I'm interested in what I did here, Mr. Blair. Very interested.
So you tell him what you've got and how you got it.
Why, we haven't got anything.
Don't lie to me. Those pills, you analyzed them.
Yes, we tried to, but we failed.
Good. And I only believe it because I see it written all over your face. Now we can go ahead with your company, Ed. Good day, Mr. Blair.
Oh, wait, just let me have one more word with you alone. Give us a break, Abbott. Be big, be generous. Well, your own daughter's a capital girl, and she likes that boy. I like him, too. Tell me where to find him, and I'll give him anything he wants. Anything.
How much? Half the profits?
Okay. Half the profits.
Written contract?
I'll have it engraved.
Well, all right. Maybe I was a bit hasty, but you still have to sell Chris.
I'll sell him. Where is he?
In his car on Route 40 going west, and by now he ought to be somewhere around Frostburg, Maryland.
Good. How are you going to stall him? That Trans-American bunch would pay $10 million cash for this.
Don't worry, leave it to me.
Can't this crate go no faster?
Sorry, 45's your limit. What's your hurry?
Well, I guess I can trust the guy who's done time. I'm on a lamb, Mac.
Lamb?
Yeah. Last night I held up a filling station in Washington.
You mean the police are after you?
Natch! I got away with over $3,000. It was that big Capital Earl station on Constitution Avenue.
Capital Earl?
You sure that's Route 40 down there?
Could be. Hey, look. What'll I do if the police stop us? Think we better split up?
Relax, Mac. Relax, will you? I got a gat. Just let him try and stop us.
Alva, are you worried? Don't be. You're perfectly safe.
That's not what I'm worried about. It's Chris.
Chris? What do you mean, Alva?
I never realized I could miss anybody so much.
But we all miss him. That's why we're looking for him.
It's his car. Look, there he is.
Follow him.
Hey, look at this. It's one of them whirligig things.
A helicopter. Well, they're just following the road. I hope.
Hey, they waved at me.
They did?
It's coming down. It's got some kind of a sign on it. It says cap, eye, toe, blue. Hey, they got us, Mike.
That's not Chris.
Quick, pick up that car again.
Yes, sir.
Quick, pull on down. Land in front of that house.
Yankees.
Chris. Come on. Are you all right, Chris?
Oh, Alva. Is it really you?
Oh, yes, Chris.
Abernathy, call the office and tell them we found him. Well, don't stand there gawking. Go find a phone.
I've been aiming to cover that old well. One of my pigs fell in last week.
Is this your place?
Well, it was.
I'll pay you for the damages. We want to use your house. And I want to talk to you. I've been chasing you long enough.
Is that young fellow a crook?
Crook? Why,
He's the greatest scientific genius on Earth today.
No. I told you before. We sent the helicopter back into town before dark. And we'll start as soon as the papers are signed. No, A.B. says don't tell a soul about this. We'll give it to all the papers tomorrow. A.B. says... Operator. You cut me off. I was talking to Washington. What? Who? Who's Charlie Ramsbottom?
Neighbor of ours down the road a piece.
What's he doing listening in on this line?
Oh, Charlie runs our newspaper, Allegheny Advertiser. He listens to everything.
Oh, he does?
And I figure we'll sell at least 10 million gallons the first 6 months.
A.B., there was somebody...
Never mind. Sit down. And why not? Who's going to buy the old gasoline at 20 cents a gallon when they can get ours at 15?
But mine only cost 2 cents to make, Mr. Blair. Maybe just 1 cent in big volume. Why not sell it for less?
Look, son, don't you want to make $1 million?
I don't think so. It would worry me to have that much.
Yes, but think what you could do with all that money. Why, you could... Don't you want to get married someday and raise a family?
Well, maybe, but does that take a fortune?
Today, absolutely.
Well, I can see how much this means to you, Mr. Blair, but I think old Benjamin Franklin had the right idea. You know, he said, as we enjoy the inventions of others, we should be glad to serve the people with any invention of ours. And this we should do freely and generously.
Why, that's true, Mr. Blair. I never thought of it that way, but...
Please, Miss Abbott, you're working for me, remember? Let me do the thinking. Now, that might have been all right for Franklin. All he had was just an iron stove and a paper kite. But you got something that, unless it's handled very carefully, can cause a worldwide panic.
It's panicky now. Maybe what the world needs is a good 5-cent gasoline to help it relax.
Wouldn't help me relax.
Why not package Mr. Parker's pills and sell them in drugstores?
Because we don't own any drugstores. Now, all you have to do is to sign this wonderful contract, give us the formula, and then stop worrying about anything for the rest of your life.
I'm not worried, Mr. Blair.
No, but I am. Have you got the formula with you?
Well, I've never written it down, but I've got some of the pills.
You mean that formula's just in your head?
Yes, sir. It's 7 very common elements. I can always remember them.
Good golly, boy, don't let anything happen to you.
Why, Mr. Blair, what could happen?
Don't nobody make a move, see?
Who are you?
We'll skip the introductions, fatso. Okay, Mac, let's scram out of here.
Scram? Me?
Sure, I ain't gonna let a pal down. I seen him grab you. I've been laying outside waiting for dark. So, they're trying to make you sign a confession, huh?
You don't say, this is a deal.
Don't be a sap, Mac. They always try to make a deal. But tomorrow you'll be right back in the clean. Come on, let's go.
Oh, wait a minute. You don't
okay, Mac, don't talk. Using a dame for bait, huh? What a corny bull you are.
Get her!
That man's a criminal.
Why, of course that's it. Trans-American Oil hired that man to kidnap him. Come on, hurry up, Roger, hurry.
Wait a minute. I don't want to scram with you. Wait a minute, I'll explain everything. No, you can't, Mac. Once you've done a stretch like us, they don't listen to you. That confession they wanted you to
No, it
start.
wasn't a confession. They just followed me here because I've got something that they wanted.
Sure, that's why they're looking for me, too.
Yeah, but look, you're in the jail. Wait a minute. And I'm not.
Hear that?
What is it?
There must be somebody in that barn. You stay here, Mac. I'll take a look. Hey, Mac. Where are you?
Alva! Help!
What? It's Chris.
Alva! Help!
He's in the well.
Rope, throw it in.
Help!
Grab hold, Chris.
Oh, I got it.
Hey, I'm Charlie Ramsbottom. What's going on here?
Man, the well.
Was it murder? I'm from the newspaper.
Ow!
Will somebody please tell me what this is all about? We have to go to press day after tomorrow.
Oh, be quiet. Anybody'd think you were Walter Winchell.
How is he, Doctor?
He's conscious now. How'd all that water get inside him? I must have pumped out 5 gallons.
He fell in the well. Is he all right now?
He's got a bump on his head bigger than a turkey's egg, but no broken bones that I could see.
May I go in?
Well, just for a minute. But don't upset him, young lady. He's had quite a shock.
He's had a shock.
Chris, this is all my fault. If only I believed you the first time.
Now, please don't worry. I'm perfectly all right, Betty.
What did you say?
I said I'm really all right.
But you called me Betty.
I did? That's funny. I don't know anybody named Betty, except my Aunt Betty. You don't look a bit like her. Are you sure I called you Betty?
Oh, it doesn't matter. The important thing is that you're still alive.
Where was I shot?
Shot? Don't you remember what happened?
Well, no, not exactly.
How do you feel, son?
Oh, pretty good, thanks. Just a little headache.
I'll trade you. I've got a big one. Chris, after it happened last night, I got my board of directors on the phone. We had a long conference about you.
About me? Why?
Well, I saw that I'd been on the wrong track completely and that you were right. This thing is too big and too important for any one company to monopolize. It's progress. And you can't hold back progress for selfish gains. It'll be hard on us at first. But as you said, the public will gain greatly by it. And eventually, we may too. So we want you to patent your formula, Chris, in your own name, and do whatever you like with it.
Formula? What formula?
Well, you know, for changing water into gasoline.
Say, that would be a wonderful thing. Why hasn't somebody thought of it?
Why hasn't what?
Now, wait a minute, don't tell me. I got it. Your name is, Beasley.
Oh, no. No, Chris, it's Mr. Blair.
Oh, yes, of course, Mr. Blair Beasley. I usually remember names.
Yes, but the formula, you remember that, don't you? The pills. The pills. Where's that little bottle of pills?
He had it in his coat pocket. Here.
It's not here. It's gone.
It was here when he went out with that gangster last night, before he fell in
the well. That's it. It must have dropped out in the well.
What are they so excited about? I don't need any pills.
Oh, Chris. You've forgotten everything.
No. No, I haven't. There's one thing I remember clearly.
Oh, what's that, Chris? Try hard to remember, please.
I love you. Or did I tell you that? Good. So, will you marry me, Betty?
Betty?
Excuse me, I mean Alva.
How do I know who you mean, or even if you mean it? You're not in your right mind.
I'm not? Did you love me in the other one?
I told you I did last night, but you wouldn't answer me.
I wouldn't. Where was I?
Then you have these dizzy spells all the time?
No, I've never proposed to a girl in all my life before, really.
How could I ever marry somebody and not know whether they'd wake up tomorrow and ask, where'd you come from?
Oh, I wouldn't ask you that, Alva. I'd just do this.
Now, easy. Might be in the first bucket.
What you looking for? Maybe I can help.
A bottle full of little pills.
Oh, what are they good for?
Internal combustion.
You know, I got that trouble, too. Yeah.
Nothing in here but water, A.B.
All right, throw it out. Try again. So now we've got nothing.
Nothing? We've struck oil.
Magnesium.
What?
Magnesium. That's one of the elements in my formula.
Oh, wonderful, Chris. Can you remember the others?
Sure. Just came back to me, the whole thing. My mind's as clear as a bell. Now, what was I doing a moment ago? Oh,